くぞジェノサイカッタ
Hello everyone, what's happening? This is Forgo, and today we're going to talk a little bit about championship. I'm going to show you some runs that I had yesterday, and this is the lineup that I used. Now, this is just this new 6th draft pick has just been introduced into the global. The JP version has been using this actually for some time, at least when championship was available. And as far as our season rules, all goes, all fighters go. Your battle cards will be applied, and the extra stat that you get from having an extra card will be applied. Now for Genets here, you can see that I have the Yentama set. For Nameless here, I'm using the Ryugo set. For Pretty Big, I'm using the Kaya set. Real shame I don't have either of her. I don't have any of her special cards. It's a real bum deal. It actually hurts her damage a little bit. And then for Xion, I'm using the Noah set, and then I have both of his 3PG and 5PG cards equipped. The Noah set really isn't the optimal set for this character. Really, the Ryugo would be way better because he's pretty fragile. He can take a lot of damage, especially being an attack type. So you really would like to have the Ryugo set to really boost up his damage. And it's not bad having that Ignore Guard. Even though he has it on his first skill, it's not bad having Ignore Guard maybe on his other skills. And then for Vice here, I tried a little something different. I got a 3PG card, and I'm using the Elizabeth set. And I'm using the Elizabeth set because, you know, increases attack by 30%, deals additional damage equal to 200% of attack to the target upon landing a grab skill. And plus, with one of these cards, you actually get a little PG gain. And then I had this Yentama card on her for a little PG gain as well, to try to hopefully get off that 3PG card, and then I have a cooldown card. It's something I'm experimenting with, to be honest. And then for Psyche, I'm using the Tekken set. This is not the optimal set for this guy at all. Really, you want a good defensive set. The Kaya set, the Mr. Big set, the Kula set would actually be better for Psyche. The Tekken set's good for PG gain, but really, if you want his damage to go up, you're really better off the Kaya set. Plus, he has a grab skill. You could put the Ryugo set also. In my opinion, really, the Ryugo set would be optimal for every one of these characters. People would argue that, but in PvP, that is the way that I would go. And you can see right now I have a 65% win rate rating, which is okay. It's not bad. I think I could have done better, to be perfectly honest, but I definitely made some mistakes, as you will see in one of the runs that I do. Well, actually, maybe in all the runs. So we're just going to critique my gameplay, talk about what's good, talk about what's bad, and just enjoy the fights. So let's jump into the action and let's rock and roll. So the first thing I noticed about Championship is it seemed to run smoother for me. Now right now, they picked Lady Big, Nameless, and Vice. And I'm taking on Lady Maxima, Vice, and Pretty Big. Interesting. Now right there, I shouldn't have used that third skill so fast. Go. Come on, come on. And see, really what I should be doing is being a little bit more reserved on my gameplay. I'm being a little bit too aggressive, to be perfectly honest. Lady Maxima has a lot of damn damage, very fast PG gain, so if she's landing hits on you, she's going to build her PG up really, really fast. Oof. You see? And I was just playing way too aggressive, to be perfectly honest. I should have backed off quite a bit. Now we have Nameless. Now you got to be careful with Lady Maxima because she does a grab skill on her second skill. So she can ignore your guard. If you notice, I hit my immunity right off the get-go to hopefully try to take less damage. Tried playing Nameless a little bit defensively, but because of his damage and she had just low HP, I was able to take her out. Now this is an interesting fight because the individual that I'm facing there, 14, this is pretty interesting. We actually will fight him twice in these runs. And look what he does with his Vice. I mean, he just mutilating me. Got me in the corner, and there's not a whole lot I can do. My super armor is not enacting, which really sucks. Now, see, if I would have used the Tekken option card, whenever he attacked me, that super armor might have engaged, and then he wouldn't have been able to grab me, and I might have been able to use Nameless. That's kind of the bad thing about Nameless is you're dependent on your super armor taking an effect from its core effect. And you're depending on landing a successful attack. So if they're guarding against you, you never get it. And that's kind of the pain of Nameless. It's really one of the cruxes of that character. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's freaking awesome, but that is a crux for him. And boom, I mean, shout out to you 14 for destroying me. Your Vice was insane. Good job, buddy. Once Vice gets you in that corner, you are dead meat. Yeah, that was a bummer. So now we have, they chose Xion, or I'm sorry, they chose Xion, Nameless, and Lady Big. But here we go. Now I gotta be real careful here because Xion can actually has a 70% chance to remove your super armor and hyper armor. Plus, he has an ignore guard on his second skill. Now there, my stun took effect from Lady Big's core effect, and I was able to do some serious damage to this Xion. And I don't think Xion here probably doesn't have a Ryugo set on him because it seems like we're doing quite a bit of damage. Probably running a Noah set, something like that maybe. Here we go. And kind of the bad thing about Xion is it's a 70% chance to remove hyper armor and super armor. If it was a 100% chance, that'd be freaking insanely OP. Don't worry, oh buddy, don't worry. You'll get your shots in. Now there I went ahead and used my third skill because I was trying to build my PG up to use my special really quick while the awakened skill was still on a countdown. That way hopefully wouldn't be able to use their awakened skill and dodge it. And there I should have blocked. I should have blocked that. So that was my mistake. Block, everybody. Block. And boom. And that's pretty much what cost me that match. So here again, we got Lady Maxima who can do a grab skill, can ignore my guard. And I should have guarded the first skill that she did, that third skill, and then hit my immunity so hopefully I wouldn't take any damage before she did that special. So I didn't really play the greatest here. Making some mistakes. See, I should have been blocking. I was a little slow on my block there. There I hit the awakened skill, was able to go into my skills and whoop up on her. And you really want to save your specials for your next round, especially with a sweeper like Nameless. And if you're wondering what sweepers are, they're characters that can pretty much just go through, they can just pretty well take on each team by themselves. Boom, 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 boom. Just kill them all in a row. Like right here, we're going to use our ultimate skill. Iori can't do anything. He can't get away from it. He doesn't have his awakened skill. And there I kind of messed up. Here we got our immunity up. And Iori's actually quite deadly for Nameless because he can actually remove your PG gain or slow down it. And that really hurts a character like Nameless big time because he's very reliant on that PG gain as well. Plus, Iori has an interrupt skill on his third skill, the super armor. You know, if he's guarding against Nameless, he can just run in there and start swiping. Boom. And Xion, something that's also nice about Xion is lots of damage, good combos if you combo him correctly. Now, when I was playing Xion originally, I wasn't playing him correctly, and and you'll probably see that I still really wasn't. But here we go. And see there, I removed the super armor. And look at this. And once Xion gets you in a corner, you are, just like Vice, you're pretty much dead. He is a comboing machine. Big time, big time. Alright, so we got to be real careful of K because K's a fast bastard. Now, if I'd have been playing that K, I probably would have used that second skill because it's super fast. Went over, disabled the roll on Xion, and then maybe try to use the third skill. However, with a character like Xion, he can still use his first skill because it's an interrupt skill and maybe take away K's super armor. So, but the thing is with Xion, it's really a 70% chance. You don't always get it. And that's kind of the thing. And yeah, the damage was, if I'd had the Ryugo set, Xion would have done a lot better there because he just couldn't take all that damage. Okay, here we go. There you saw I hit my immunity first. And my super armor did not engage, but we were able to do enough damage to K because he has no immunity that we were able to beat him. And this really is a bad matchup. Honestly, Iori is bad for Nameless. You see right now I have no super armor, no immunities up. Boom, boom. There we go. And see, you can guard against Iori all day, but he he can ignore your guard on his first skill. He's just a really dangerous character for a character like Nameless. There we got our super armor, so now I'm not really too worried. As long as Nameless's super armor kicks in, you're in a lot better standings. Because then your skills won't get interrupted and you can start just chaining them. He has so much damage, so much PG gain, that once he gets going, he's hard to stop. That's the dangerous thing about Nameless. So now they decided to choose Lady Big, Xion, and Psyche, which really surprised me they picked Psyche. That surprised me. There they got the Ignore Guard from Gintoki's first skill. Oh yeah, and then that third skill from Pretty Big interrupted him. And Pretty Big really is, there's a reason that she's top tier in PvP. That was a mistake. I did that way too far away. I got a little overzealous, jumped in there way too fast. There I went ahead and used my third skill to try to interrupt him. I waited for him to use his first skill, and then I used my second skill to interrupt Gintoki. Okay. And that stun actually saved me here big time. But I still lost the fight. Really, I should have won that fight. Alright, here we go. Let's do it. Okay. And everybody that plays Gintoki, they always usually start with the first skill. They always get the immunity. They always do it from a distance. Always. And really, when you're playing Gintoki, you really want to be up close when you do that skill. Not too close, but 2 or 3 character distances away. Because when you're far away, that skill just pushes them away from you. They're further away. And by the time you get over there, a lot of players can get up there and block. And there, I just lost my Xion. Hummer. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Not good. Not good. That was bad. So here we go. Now, Psyche's another great counter for Nameless. Because Psyche has grab skill. See? Boom. Get a hold of them. We can start going to our combos. And when I'm playing Psyche, I'm actually running through my combos way too fast. I really need to let them normies play out a little bit longer and spread out the string that I'm trying to do between the skills and the normies. And a string is whenever you take one skill, chain it to another skill, chain it to another skill. You're trying to do a nice long combo. Psyche has excellent combos. And I really was rushing when I was playing him a little bit. I need to learn to kind of slow down. There I hit my second skill way too far away. I should have dodged over, used my second skill. It's actually kind of fun critiquing myself, to be perfectly honest. It's kind of fun, actually. Because I can be like, oh, this is what I did wrong, and this is what I did wrong. I mean, I got the win, but you always want to look at your gameplay, and you always want to critique yourself and see what can you improve on. What can you make better for yourself? Now we have Pretty Big, Xion, and Nameless again. Here we go. And I really was surprised by how many people picked Lady Big. I was actually very surprised by it. I mean, poor Shermie, if she doesn't get them stuns, I mean, she's gonna be dead meat. She's a great character, but she's nowhere on the league of Pretty Big. Now, Adelheid can do some good against Pretty Big. So you have to be very careful about him because he does have that 70% chance to remove her hyper armor. And if he does, he can start comboing really well and start hurting her. Now you saw what I did there. What I did was, when he did his third skill, he gets that stun at the end of it. I used my third skill so I would have my hyper armor up. That way, I knew I'd get stunned, but I knew he wasn't going to be able to do damage to me. And by the time that stun wore off, I'd be able to get away or go into my other skills. That's a little trick against Adelheid when you have a character with hyper armor. There we go. And really, against Ashe, all you really got to do is just block. Unless he's got that Ryugo set, I still would block anyways. But just block, go into your combos. It's really not all that difficult, to be perfectly honest. I'm really looking forward to Dark Ashe whenever he comes into the game. I mean, yeah, Pretty Big's just nuts. So we got one more fight, and this is the player that I faced the first time, the one that whooped me with Vice. You can see 14. Shout out to you again, buddy. Here we go. Now I'm using Nameless, Vice, and Pretty Big. And look, he's already trying to string old Vice against me. But my super armor kicked in. Okay, boom. We're in trouble. We're in some serious trouble. Combo, 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 combo. Oof. And there we got the Ryugo kicked in. We ignored the guard. Really, I should have let that Normie play out a little bit more, but I got a little overzealous, and I wanted to get the kill because I was really kind of determined to beat this guy. Yeah, man. Once Vice gets going, man, she is deadly. I shouldn't have used my Awaken skill there, but I got a little worried. Really should use it when they're in the middle of doing an attack, and as long as you're standing up, you can use your Awaken skill. All right, here we go. Now I'm just gonna block against Pretty Big. Okay, now I'm gonna run into my skills. There, the Ryugo kicked in. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and block again. You really want to bait Pretty Big to do her third skill, and we're gonna get stunned. Come on. Oh, nice. And what happened there was they used their third skill when we were in the middle of the special. They used their third skill because it's an interrupt skill and actually could use it at the end of that special that I was doing. Pretty tricky. Nice. That's the one thing about interrupt skills, man. They are powerful. You can use them whenever characters are using specials against you. Here we go. Yeah. And you see my PG gain right now. I mean, and that's why I have that Gintama card. That's why I'm using the Elizabeth set. Plus for the damage. Just a little testing. I see there I screwed up. I dodged over and he punished me when I did that. That was just dumb. And that was dumb too. I shouldn't have used that second skill so fast. I should have waited till I got a little closer. I just wasted that special. Ugh. Dodge that. That was good. See, I should be blocking that. You can block that skill. And that's really where I made my mistake. So now we got Pretty Big against Lady Maxima. Both at full life. Coming down to the wire. Here we go. And he's just blocking. He baited me. Got me to use my third skill. Now he's doing damage to me. Now I can get him. We're going to use our combos. And then one thing about Lady Maxima, once her immunity wears off from her core effect, because she's an attack type character, you can do a ton of damage to her. Shout out to you, 14, again. Great fight. Thank you so much. So it was really great that I got that redemption in there, and I thought it was just only fitting to show both fights where I lost and where I won. So let me know if any of you are able to play Championship that weren't able before. Let me know if it seems like it's smoother than it was before. It seems like I'm having a lot less lag than I had before, but it could be just me. I'm not really sure. It's been a long time since we had Championship. But let me know in the comments if the same thing's happening to you, or if you're actually able to play and you couldn't play before, or you could play before but you can't now. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.